I'll go on. So we're talking about text direction. So you can easily do that from here. This is angle, different angles. You could just put your text like this vertically. So all these things we are doing are just what we call formatting. So we are just trying to format format the cells. So anything you think anyhow you want your worksheet to look like, based on the settings that we have here, you could use those options and set those formatting. So that is for alignment. That's that for alignment. So we'll quickly move to adding borders. Now if you check all these my sheets, you discover that there's a black line, a thick black line on on all of them. Look at them. Compared to the other parts of the sheet. If you check the other parts of the sheet and where I have my data is different. And then you can see it's quite different. Okay, so why it's like that is because I added border. So this is where we add border, and we have different border options. Now by default, when you open your Excel sheet, this is how it looks. Now you'll be seeing some lines. Now the lines help you to be able to differentiate between the different sheets, so you can easily see them. But these lines is what we call grid lines. Now the computer does not print grid lines. Like for instance, if you print this sheet that we are on at the moment, what you are going to see is a blank space, just something blank. You are not going to see these lines. They will not be there. It's just going to be blank, white, just blank, So, and they are called grid lines. So you can even decide to remove it if you don't want them. So how do you do that? You click on View tab. You click on the View tab, then you see this point where my mouse is now, grid lines. So you can uncheck it. Now once you uncheck it, you can see the grid lines are off. We still have our cells, but it will be hard now to easily identify which is which, because I've turned off the grid lines. So you can, from here, you can turn on and turn off the grid lines. So computer does not print grid lines. So let me remove the border from all this. So this is what we'll have. So if I go to File, Print, so this is Print Preview. You can see that the lines are not there because the computer does not print grid lines. So let's go back. So now, how do we add border? We add border using the border from here, the border settings or the border options. So we have different border options. So first you select your cell or cells, and then you come here. This first one is bottom border. It's going to add border only to the bottom of the cell. This is top border. It will add border only to the top of the cell. This is left, to the left of the cell, right of the cell for right border. Then no border is, don't want a border anywhere on the cell. Then all border it will add borders right, left, bottom, and top. So most times you will have to select all borders, because I think it makes sense, adding all borders looks more better. Then this is outside borders. This is thick outside borders. If you want a thicker border, double line, border at the bottom. So any option, any one you like, or you want, anyhow you want the cell, just select the particular option. So I'm selecting all borders. So that will add borders to the cells I've selected, all borders. So now if I go to File and Print, you can see that it has borders. So if I print now, this is what I will have. So that's how we add borders to our worksheet. If you want to add border to all the worksheets, if you want to add it to all the worksheets and not just to a particular section or selection, please click here. Are you seeing this right angle triangle at the top here? Just click on it. Now from this point you can select all the cells on the worksheet. Click on it. So I've selected all the cells on the worksheet, and then I can do all border. So all the cells now have borders. So if I go to File, Print, so I'm still seeing the same thing. So once I immediately add content here, I will then see that in my print preview. Okay, so that's how so I've just showed you how to select all the cells on the worksheet from here. Please select all, select everything, and you use that especially when you want to apply anything that you want to affect all the cells. Like for instance, if you want to increase the width of a cell, so I think that's the next thing we'll talk about, how to increase width and how to increase height. Okay, before we do that, let's look at these cell styles. Now under the style, on the home tab, in the style section, we'll see cell styles. Look at it, cell styles. We'll have different cell styles. So you could select any option there. You could select any option there, click on it. But first of all, you must have selected the cells. So let me select all these headings. I'll select all these headings, click on cell styles, select a particular option. So this is a way of formatting your cell. So you can select any format here, and then you could also use it to mark off, some, do some marking off to show the difference between a particular data and another data. Like all this, like in this our weekly attendance sheet, I could say, okay, I want to format present as green and absent as red. So I could select P and then do cell styles, good, absent, cell styles, bad. You get that? So I could format all the P's with green and all the absent with red. So once somebody is opening this data, and it's easier to identify the P's because they are green and the absent because they are red. So like I said, so I'm marking up this data, I'm formatting it for easy identification. So you could use other cell styles that are here. Just click, select your cell, and then apply. Okay, there's another thing I will talk about quickly. Okay, let me come back to conditional formatting, or let me talk about it now. Conditional formatting, though it's not part of what we're supposed to do today, but I think it's important. Conditional formatting. Now, conditional formatting, you use it to format cells with conditions. So, like for instance, if I want to format these cells, I want all the P's to be green and all the absent to be red. I could do that quickly. You could see when I was trying to use cell styles, it's kind of manual. I will have to do all the P's separately, one after the other, and then do all the absent one after the other. That would be stressful. So we use conditional formatting. highlight cell rules. I'm going to talk only about this highlight cell rules. So I could say equals to. So all the cells that are equals to P, all the cells that are what? Equals to P, or all the cells that the content is P, that has P as its content, please give it the, highlight it with green. So green fill with dark green text. Green fill, okay, color it green, that's what that means. So I'll click what? Okay. So but before I do that, let me cancel first. Let me select all these cells, because that's the range of cell I want to deal with. So after selecting all these cells, I'll click on conditional formatting, highlight cell row equals to, I'll put P here, and then I'll say fill in with what? Green, and then I'll say what? Okay. So you can see immediately it colored all these P cells with what? With green. Then I will highlight this cell again and come back, conditional formatting, highlight cell rules equals to, then I'll type what? ABS, absent, fill it with red. Okay. Okay, so this is how conditional formatting works. So quickly, I've marked off, different data with different colors. It could be a score sheet. Maybe those people that pass and those people that fail, or maybe you are setting a record, a business record. So you say, okay, if I meet target, maybe your target is 5,000 for different months, and then you want to mark off those points where you met targets in those months, and then the months where you did not meet targets, you can mark off those ones you met targets with green, and then the one you did not meet targets with red. So easily, when you are opening your table, your sheet, you are seeing, okay, those points where it will make you to read off the data easily. It's easier to read off this data now that I've marked it off with red and green. So you can easily identify those points where people were absent and where people were present. Okay, so that's conditional formatting. If you have question on that, there are many options there, but I'm just dealing with highlight series. You could use greater than, less than. It must not be text. It could be a number. You could even put a formula in that box. In this box equals to, you could say some whatever, put formulas and all that. So, okay, that's just to show you that you can use conditional formatting to also format your text. If I change this to ABS, to just change to red, because I've given it that setting. If I change this to present, to just change to green, I don't need to go back and make any changes. Do you see that? Okay, so we'll look at okay, so we'll look at print preview. So I think we are rounding up. We'll look at print preview. If you want to print, click on what? File, and then click on print. So what you can see here now, what you can see on the screen now is what we call print preview. You click on file, you click on print. So this is print preview. So what you can see here is what we print. Now there's a way Excel arranges its pages. So if you want to see the way Excel arranges its pages, please click on view and click on page layout. Page layout. So click on view, click on page layout. Let me increase, okay, so you see that Excel arranges its page horizontally. Look at it. This is the way Excel arranges its page. This is page 1, this is page 2, 3, 4, like that. And then it will come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's different from Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word is just going vertically, page 1, then the next page under, like that. But Excel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then come here 10, like that. Look at them. So the page layout gives you that view to see how the pages are arranged. Okay, so this is normal. Let's come back to normal view. So when you click on File, Print, this is that's the print preview. So from this print preview, you can select your printer. This is where you should see your printer that is plugged to your computer, or maybe a computer that is on the network. The computer could be plugged directly to your PC, or it could be a computer on a network. So the printer you see on this printer list, if the printer is not on the list, you add what? Printer. So I don't think we'll be talking about how to add printer, but this is where you select your printer. Then what do you want to print? Do you want to print active sheets? Do you want to print the entire workbook? The active sheet will be the sheet you are on. So the active sheet is this sheet I'm on at the moment. You can see that I have different sheets on this particular workbook, but the active sheet is this count if sheet that I'm on. So I have to choose if that's what I want to print, or I want to print the entire workbook. If I say the entire workbook, it means I want to print all the sheets. Okay, so that's that. Then this is collated. Should they be together or separately? Landscape orientation. This is landscape orientation at the moment. This is portrait. This is portrait. This is landscape. Then paper size. Later, if for more paper size you choose, most times you have to, it will be A4. Okay, then margin. You could select your page margin. Now we are using narrow margin so that we'll have more, we will not have our content being cut off. So narrow margins. Let's select another wide, normal, and custom. Okay, so let's use narrow margin like we use. So okay, then fit sheet on one page. Now, if this fit sheet on one page is in a case where your sheet is being, some content is cut off and is in another page, you can fit it in with this option. Okay, so these are some of the things you see. Once you do all these settings and you are okay with what you are seeing on the preview, you can click on print, and the sheet or the workbook, depending on your setting, will be sent to the printer. Yeah, it will be sent to the printer. So another, you can also do some more settings to your page under the page layout tab. So under here, you could do some more settings like margins, orientation, size, print area. You could set your print area. So you could set your print area, page layout, and let me select this. Select the area you want to print. And set, okay, this is the area. You select this area like this. Now I'm selecting all this area where I have content, and then I click on print area, set print area. If I go to File, Print, you could see it's only those areas that I selected that will be printed. Or I could select like this. Okay, I want to select half. I'm leaving this point off, all these parts. I'm leaving them, from this selection. So I could just select like this, select it to this point, then come to File, and then, okay, before I go, I'll say set print area. So now what this set print area does is that I'm saying, oh, I want to print only this point. I'm selecting File, Print. So you can see it. So I'm printing from 1 to 9, and you can see that the other numbers are not part of it. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 is not part. So you could select a portion of your data and then do set print area. Come to file, print. You could see it's only this place that I'm printing. So you don't need to delete or maybe copy or cut this portion to another sheet. Just if that's the only thing you want to print, or that's the only portion of the sheet you are interested in, you want to print out, just select it, do set print area, then file, print. It will bring out only that portion. It will leave off the other portion of the worksheet. Okay, so other options. So we've seen margin or rotation. We saw that under the print and preview size and print area. Very important, preset print area. You can also clear your print area, because if I go back to file, print, to still be showing me the same thing. So I don't want, maybe now I want to print everything. Come back and say set clear, file, print, and it will come back to what? To normal. Okay, so those are some things you could do for. Then sometimes you might want to add what we call header and footer to your worksheet. To do that, first you have to come to the View tab and go to Page Layout. Now, under Page Layout, you see, if you look at the top, you see what you have, Add Header. And then you also see what at the bottom, Add Footer. So I could do this. Then I could come here and put footer. Okay, so I've added an header. I've added what? A footer. I could put date here. 28. So this, I'm doing this under the what? The page layout view. So under view, click on what? Page layout, or you could access it from here. You could access it from here. Look at this bottom here, at the bottom right corner. This point is the zoom slider. So this is normal view, page layout view, and then page break preview. So from here you could still go back. So if I come to file, print, you can see the header and footer that I added, Excel Masterclass Limited, and the date, author, James Water. So you could add any data you think is important as an header and footer as part of, the worksheet, separate from the main data that you have on the worksheet. So that's how you add header and footer. Okay, then the next thing I want to talk about is page break preview. Now another kind of view we have in Excel is this page break preview. So under the view tab, you see it, or you can access it from the bottom right corner here, close to the zoom slider. So you click on page break preview. Now at the moment, as you can see, we have one page. Let's say, for instance, let me copy this. Let me copy this. So we have that now. Let me copy it, another one. Okay, so we have our listing like this. So if I go to page break preview and let's view, okay, I'm trying to make it 2 pages. Okay, so just forget about the value. So then I just want to make it 2 pages. Okay, so let me still go on. Now you can see that we have 1 page. It's showing us page 1. Page 1. So I could make adjustments. On the page break preview, I could still make this 1 page 2 pages by adjusting. You could see that there's a thick blue bounding box on the preview now. So I could adjust it. Maybe, okay, I want page 1 to end there. And then page 1 now will end at this point where we stopped, or we could take it further in page 1, or we could increase it to cover everything. So like the name says, page break preview. So use it to break your page into different section, irrespective of the size of the page, because by default, as you can see, everything was just on page 1, but we could break some stuff off and say, okay, let the page 1 just be from this point to this point, and we'll come to normal view. Then if you do file print, you could see that we are having just from this point to this point in page 1. Then the other points are like they are cut off. They have been broken off. Okay, so there are sometimes you might have. Let me open. Okay, let's do page break preview for this. Now you can see in this one we have 2 pages. Now I can adjust this. Instead of having 2 pages, you can see the line. This line that we have here. I can adjust it to the right and make it what? 1 page. So instead of 2 pages, I'll make it what? 1 page. Okay, so that's for page break preview. So I will break the page into 1, and I can still adjust this 1 page by cutting off some points, some parts of the worksheet. So that's page break preview. Okay, so I've actually showed you how to print the worksheet. So you go to File and Print, and you see your print preview. Carry out the settings, click on the print button, and make sure you've selected your printer. Okay, so I think I will stop here, and then I'll allow questions. Allow questions for the next 5 minutes. We can use it to ask questions. Okay, so if you have questions, you can ask.